Hello everyone. Sorry to be on a couple minutes late. I was trying to, it like has this option where I can cross post, and I was trying to get that set up because I was like, that would be cool to stream it live on my business page, but it just wouldn't do anything. It just was like spinning. So I was like, forget it. Okay, let's get the show on the road. Let me find my own video. I have to select. We are live. Okay. All right, please say hi as you hop on. Takes everyone forever to find these, so that's okay. We will wait. I always feel bad for those that watch the replay to have to wait. As you hop on, please say hello to me. Say hi. Let me know that you're here. I'm trying to tilt that down a little bit. There we go. Let me know you're here. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what's going on with you. Hi, Heather. I see your purple heart. Of course, I'm not seeing comments on my thing, which is fine. There has been a lot of transformation, I feel, that's been coming through since we got all those upgrades. So that has been very interesting. Hi, Christy. I would love to hear how everyone is feeling with that, what's been coming up for them with that, what kind of shifts, what kind of, like, the word I'm getting is revelations. So what kind of revelations? Hi, Sarah. Have you guys been getting with that stuff, with those upgrades, with the transmissions, with the healing and all that good stuff? What's been happening? Lots of emotions, like a roller coaster. Okay, so what kind of emotions? What's been going on with that? Like highs and lows, like feeling, oh yeah, I'm like achieving this, I'm making progress here, and then like kind of dipping down. What I'm getting is almost like short blips of dark night of the soul kind of energy, where it's like these new activations, we kind of go through like mini ego deaths with them. So it's like we find ourselves in this space where it's like, okay, this new information is coming in, this new stuff is happening, this is exciting, but then those revelations, right, they start to break down our sense of reality, our concept of reality. And so we go through these little miniature like dark nights of the soul, the ego death stuff, and that can be hard, you know, that can definitely be very energetically taxing. That can be saddening. It can activate feelings of depression, for sure. Who is feeling this? Who's feeling these changes, seeing that things that we've been doing are just not working for us? Maybe relationships are not serving us, businesses, jobs, different belief systems, different stuff like that. They're not serving us. So who's seeing this stuff coming up? Who's seeing it where it's like, oh man, you know, that's rough, right? That is really, really tough to go through that. So give me some feedback, guys. Let me know that you're here. I will say it is tough to feel like I'm just talking at people. I'm here for the collective, for this group healing, for this ascension, and we have to co-create in this energy. So just kind of like watching, listening, you're welcome to do that, but your interaction means a lot to me. It's important to me. I want to hear how you're doing. I want to hear what's coming up. Hi, Lioness. It's needed, because when we do these group sessions, right, we're looking at the collective energy. So I need for you to tell me what's going on. It's 1111 here. This has been something I'm going to go ahead and talk about it because Cassandra has been openly sharing in the group, so there's nothing new or different, but I had challenged her to start sharing openly, to start talking, right? To start talking about struggles, to start talking about how she's feeling, to start putting it out there, to open herself up to support, open herself up to allowing others to see that this is something that a lot of people deal with. When we do this kind of stuff, when we start sharing, when we start talking, when we start communicating, we open ourselves up, we make so much space. This is very expansive. And so there's like this weird collective energy of like, no, I don't want to say anything. I shouldn't talk about this. I shouldn't open up. And this space is for that. It's for us to start opening. It's for us to start expressing our challenges. It's for us to start saying what we're struggling with so that we can be met with compassion, so that we can be met with patience, so that we can be met with these wide open arms saying, hey, I know what you're talking about. I feel this too. So that we feel this sense of community and not that we're out there alone. That's part of that lie about the Patrix energy of you have to go it alone. You have to be in this alone. Don't talk about it. That's very toxic masculine energy. I have great ideas, but then I have a hard time to execute them. Then I get depressed with the emotions and I talk about what is going on and I get the high that things can happen and I got this. Okay, so failure to launch. That's what I call that, failure to launch. We've seen that movie with Matthew McConaughey. It was a really cute movie, by the way. It was like back, I think it was, I don't know, early 2000s. But that's that term, failure to launch. I'm too afraid to do it. So I don't, and then I feel bad about myself because I'm not doing it. This is super common in certain witch moon archetypes, like the underactive ones, possum, sheep, and vulture, where it's like, I know that I should do this, but I'm afraid to take action. This is worthiness energy. This is fear of being persecuted in some way, that I'm going to be made fun of or criticized or it won't be well received. Energies like that. So this is why it's really important for us to do the work to heal that kind of stuff. What else is coming up for other people? I know we've got people on here that are struggling. This is why I'm showing up for you. I want to be here for you. I want to be that opportunity for expansion. So we need to know what's coming up for the collective. So I don't want to sit here and just like stare. For everyone who is on here, please comment. What is coming up? What is your struggle right now? Because this is what we're going to clear today. This is what we're going to work on healing today. Every week I ask, what is happening in the collective, right? So what's going on with you? It's time for you to allow yourself to receive support. It's time for you to allow yourself to ask for help, to say, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what I'm struggling with. These are the blockages that I'm witnessing. This is where I'm seeing stuff struggle in my experience, okay? So tell me, show me so that I can guide you through this healing today, all right? This is why we're here, not for me to just talk at people. It's for you to tell me what you need so I can serve you. Okay, so I'm going to sit here and wait. Working on worthiness. Yep, that's a big one. Big one. This is why a lot of people aren't commenting. You're just watching. I don't want to say what I need. I don't want to share. I'm self-conscious. I'm embarrassed. I feel like I'm going to be made fun of. I don't feel like people can understand. Fear, my power has been taken away so much. I don't know what it looks like and it's scary to step into it. Self-worth, worthiness, fear of being judged, okay? Starting my psychic reading services and helping people authentically. So you're struggling with that, Lioness? Is that what's coming up? Your kind of failure to launch with that, knowing that that's what you're meant to do, what you're being called to do, but you are struggling to do that. Power has been taken away so much. I don't know what it looks like, and it's scary to step into it. That's really profound. That's very, very powerful. Okay, what else? Who else is having stuff coming up? I know everyone is. We do all the time. We're human. There's going to be stuff, no matter how healed we are, no matter how much work we've done, there's always things coming up. Me, it's like constant work on healing my relationship with the masculine, helping to call it the divine masculine. This is why I am doing the Warriors Wound Workshop. That's going to be so beautiful. I'm so excited about that. But we all have this, right? We all have these things that are still there, that are still affecting us, that are still impacting us. And we have to share them. We have to talk about it. And then we also have to ask ourselves why we won't, right? So that's an opportunity. I had someone reach out to me earlier today asking for my help, but saying that they had no ability to pay for anything. So I said, okay, all right, hi love, I've been working on getting organized, but seem to be stuck. And now I'm quitting smoking. Good for you, Belinda. Working on my business and attracting the right clients. Awesome, Angie. So it was really fascinating that she reached out and said this. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, let's talk about this. And I asked her if she had the Magnetic AF mini series. Like if she'd gotten that. It's free. I give it away like, candy. It's out there. It's free. It's like trick-or-treating. Here you go. And at first she said no. And I said, okay. And then she came back. She said, actually, I do have it. And I said, that's really interesting. Let's look at that for a second. And again, we look at this just from a place of observation. There's no judgment. There's no criticism. There's no anything. We're just observing this, right? And I invited her to look at, here's the thing, like you've been asking for help, you're wanting help, but then you received help. And that Magnetic AF process, it's very powerful because I go into the pitfalls of manifesting and why your manifesting isn't working and what to do about it. I mean, it's literally like a mini course that is free. And if it's utilized, it's incredibly transformative. So I invited her to just kind of lean in and ask, you've wanted this help, but you have it, but you haven't been using it. Why? Let's just look at that, right? Let's just look at it. We have the resources. I'm going to come on here every week to do an energy clearing and healing. It's free. There's a reason not to participate, right? There's no reason not to attend. There's no reason not to speak up and say what we need, what we're struggling with, what we're needing support with, but yet we're not doing it, right? We're here because we need the help, but we're not taking it. We're not leaning into it. We're not welcoming it in. We're not receiving it. So this is the opportunity. Why? So this is actually what we're going to work on today. This is what's coming through. It's like, this is exactly what we need to work on. Because I know that there are people, I'm watching this number. It's gone up to almost 20. Now it's back down to 9 because people don't like what I'm saying, right? And calling them out. People don't like that, right? It's uncomfortable. You're upsetting me. I don't want to have to take accountability. And the problem with this is when we don't take full radical accountability, we're surrendering our power. We are not completely owning our power over our experience. We're going into a victim archetype mentality instead of saying, you know what, you're right. I'm not doing it because I don't freaking want to. I don't want to do it. I'm tired. It scares me to do it. That's a lot of work to do it. I'd rather sit down and watch Netflix at the end of the day than to do this. Okay, cool. Well, let's look at that. Let's lean into this. Let's see what's coming up with that. Let's be honest with ourselves, because once we can start doing that, that's when we're calling our power back. That's when we're saying, okay, I'm in charge now. I'm here in this place where I get to choose what my outcome is going to be. I get to choose what direction things are going in instead of just spiritually bypassing the whole thing, right? Acting like, oh no, I don't want to face that this is actually something I don't really want. We get comfortable, right? We get comfortable with where we are. And as much as it's uncomfortable, it's familiar. So we stay there. And that's where we really have to look at things. We really have to look at that and say, oh gosh, okay, why? Why does it feel better to stay here than to actually do what I can do with the resources that I have accessible to me so that I can step into this? Just like Christy, I'll call you out. I'm going to use you as an example. I love you. But saying, you know, I have all these ideas, I know what to do, but then I'm not doing it. Okay. Let's look at this. Let's look at that, because this is what a lot of people are struggling with. We're struggling with this feeling of the failure to launch, that I don't know what to do, how to do this. I can see it, but it's scary. It's terrifying me. So I'm just not going to do anything. I'm not going to take any action, but then I'm going to keep hoping that I'm going to get help. Who can relate to this? And this is all from a space of love, but we're going to get really, really real with ourselves today. That saying or that story or whatever it is, where it's like this man was on a roof and things were flooded and he was praying for help, right? And a boat came and they're like, come on. And he's like, oh no, God's going to save me. And another boat comes. And he's like, oh no, God's going to save me. And a helicopter comes and he's like, oh no, God's going to save me. And then he drowns. And he's talking to God and he's like, why didn't you save me? He's like, what are you talking about? I sent you 2 boats and a helicopter, right? So it's like, we have to start taking accountability. We have to start looking at this and saying, okay, I do have the resources. I have access to these free things that are being put out there, but I'm choosing not to use them. Why? Right? And we just lovingly ask, why? Why aren't I using that? Why aren't I participating in this? Why aren't I utilizing this resource? Why aren't I doing these action steps, knowing that they could help me, that they could support me, that they could transform my experience? So this is the invitation. So we're going to go ahead and go into this. We're going to go ahead and start with this energy healing, okay? We're going to dig into that. We're going to take some deep breaths here, because I can feel a lot of, as I'm speaking, I can feel a lot of anxiety in people's bodies. Not liking this. It's not feeling good. I don't like what she's saying. This feels uncomfortable. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to accept this. I don't want to acknowledge this. And we need to go ahead and tune in. I'm just going to ask that we take some deep breaths and ask, why? Why? Why is this making me uncomfortable? Why am I judging myself? Because that's really what that is. There's no judgment here. We are divine beings having a physical experience to be human. And part of humanity are these things. So it's like, why judge that? Why judge a child when they're learning how to crawl? Why judge a child when they're learning how to walk? It's just part of the experience. So why are we in judgment? And just kind of lean into that. Just welcome it. You can even ask our inner selves, what are you really afraid of? What are you afraid of happening if I break out of this pattern? What are you afraid is going to happen? Being honest. Again, none of this spiritual bypassing. None of this, oh, I shouldn't feel that way, so I'm going to stifle it and push it down. Nope. We're going to face this. We have to acknowledge it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do our grounding. And what I would like to invite you to do is, while we're doing it, place your hand on your heart. And as I'm taking you through this, I'd like for you to repeat in your mind, I love myself. Okay, just over and over again, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. So continue to repeat that in your mind. We're going to go ahead and open our crown chakra. We're going to invite the divine white light to pour down into our crown, passing over our third eye, down to the throat chakra, flowing all the way down into the heart, down into the solar plexus, into our sacral chakra and into our root, and then flowing out of the base of our body down into the earth, snaking its way through the ground, looking for that beautiful life force energy of magma deep within our planet. And as it taps into that magma, it's going to start pulling up, and you can start this activation if you want with like a Kegel motion. Saying, I'm going to pull this up from the ground, pulling that golden light up the cord. Letting it connect with that root, warming you, bringing it up into the sacral, into the solar plexus, up into the heart, past the throat, into the third eye, and up into the crown chakra, allowing it to overflow, surrounding your body with beautiful golden white light, our transformative cocoon, knowing that we are perfectly safe, setting the intention that any and all communications we receive during this healing and activation are of the highest vibration from the divine. And these communications are meant for the highest good of the collective and for our highest good. Knowing that we are perfectly safe in this space. Just allow yourself to be here for a moment. We can go ahead and drop out of that I love myself repetition, just allowing that energy to reverberate through the body as we step into this visualization. And I want to invite those who visualization is a space that is open for expansion within them, and it's something that is not their go-to method. That we are setting this intention. If you cannot visualize it, it's okay. We're not going to stand in judgment or have any kind of expectation that it's going to affect the result. We're going to go ahead and know that by being in this space and standing with the collective energy that we're receiving the exact healing that we need today. You can say out loud, I receive this healing today. Now I'm going to invite you to take your attention, and what I'm seeing is we're inside almost like a cavern. It's a dark, black, gray cavern, but there's this big ball of light in the center. We're very, very drawn to this ball. And you allow yourself to move closer, move towards it. And as you move towards it and get closer, you're going to realize that this ball has a golden white cord reaching out, attaching itself to your solar plexus, space in your body where your diaphragm is. You notice that this cord was actually pulling you towards this golden white light, this orb. And as you start looking around, you realize that you're surrounded with other people, other women who are also standing around this golden white orb. All of us that are here together now, all of us that will be together here and now watching the replay, knowing that time is only an illusion. And we witness the sisterhood as we all stand around this beautiful golden white light, seeing these cords all attached. As we watch the golden white light, it begins to shift and transform, begins to turn into a beautiful, angelic, divine being. I see for some this looks female, for others it looks masculine, and that's okay. The divine has no container. It can be whatever we need it to be. This being grows from this white light as the tendrils continue to keep us connected to it. It's huge, filling the entire cavern with this beautiful light, washing over us with this light. But we begin to realize it's not the light washing over us, it's that we too are beginning to glow. We are glowing with the same energy. And as we glow, we begin to realize that these cords are the representation of the cords attaching our souls to our spirit. Our spirit is the part of us that resides within our body, and our soul is what is connected into the divine. This is why we refer to it as our oversoul or our higher self. And we have this cord, almost like an electrical cord, that flows down into our bodies, where we feel our spirit housed within us. Here we start to breathe into this knowing, this realization that we truly are physical extensions of this divine being. We are here to act on its behalf, to explore the experience of humanity, what it looks like, what it feels like, and all of its challenges and problems. We recognize that our soul's purpose is to expand in this space. It is to lean into every challenge. It is to lean into every disappointment. It is to lean into every opportunity that allows us to grow, learn, and expand. Breathe into this knowledge. Breathe this truth into your body. Please state out loud if you're able to. There is no expectation. Please repeat. There is no expectation. My only role is to expand. Continue to repeat after me. I give myself permission to make mistakes. I give myself permission to fail. I give myself permission to come up short. I give myself permission to not know enough. give myself permission to not be ready. I give myself permission to not be confident enough. I give myself permission to not be brave enough. I give myself permission to make mistakes. I give myself permission to learn. I give myself permission to understand what doesn't work. I give myself permission to expand. I recognize that through mistakes, failure, and any other experience that I would attach and deem low vibrational, I recognize that these are all simply opportunities for growth, learning, and expansion. Now in this space, I invite you to look down at your hands. In this visualization, we're going to look at our hands, and what we're going to do is we're going to invite all of the self-judgment, all of the fear, all of the not good enough, all of the unworthy, all of these false beliefs, paradigms, all of these illusions. We are pulling them from our body, and we're going to watch them manifest into our hands. It's almost like they're being leached from the body and being drawn up through the palms of our hands. As you're doing this, I'm going to bring through the light language activation to help clear this energy out of you. Hey, Dola sarian kuram vatoria seyahun harehi meyando sa. Now, as you look at this energy within your hands, I know it looks different for different people. We're allowing ourselves to take this energy and we're handing it over to the divine. As we pass it on and send it on into this beautiful, bright, gigantic light being, we watch as it just completely melts away, dissolves as it comes near, almost like any kind of material or matter that would just burn up and disappear as it comes close to the sun. It just cannot exist in this realm. None of that is true. None of it is truth. It is all false paradigms, false beliefs. Please state out loud, I am free from these beliefs, and I surrender these false paradigms. I am now worthy and ready to step into a new reality where these no longer exist in my body, and I own my true divinity. When you're ready, we're going to snap our fingers on the count of 3. And collectively in that moment, we're quantum leaping into a new reality. 1, 2, 3. Claim it now that it is done. Whew. When you're ready, you can return your consciousness back to me. Breathing in that energy. Ooh, chills. I would love to hear everyone's experience with that. What came up? What feelings you felt in the body? What you witnessed? What you saw? That energy feels so good. Who else is like, whoo? It's like soaking it in. Being in that space. What's come up for me is the fear, is the failure to succeed with all the hard work, time, and money I put in. So there's that self-sabotage, Christy. So we can't fail if we don't try, right? Thank you. I could magnetically feel self-doubt being pulled to my hand from the crown, head, heart, throat. Love it, Stephanie. What did it look like to everyone in their hands? I was seeing stuff like somebody had like a box. Some it just looked like black goo. There were different things. A lot of times I'll explain. I'll be like, see it as a, whatever. But when I see different things, I just leave it. Let people see it. However it looks to them. So I knew it was different for different people. It's so beautiful. Beautiful energy. Magnetic electricity, goo, tar. Yeah, I definitely had. I saw the goo for myself in my hands. But then what I'll get, it's really interesting. Like I'll see it for myself, but then I'll get like these weird little like snapshots of like other things there, almost like they like blip in for a second. And that's when I know, oh, this is something that someone else is getting or feeling. It's so interesting. Once I put my hands out, I literally dry heaved over my hands like I was puking out that energy. Wow. And one thing that came up was that I feel like my mom is still judging me. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So there's people, even if this is why some people think where they're like, well, once they pass on, it'll be easier. I'll be out of their grip. And that's not true. We can go ahead and release that grip before they do. Once it cleared, the ball became a clear crystal ball in my hands. Awesome. So you transmuted it yourself. My emotions are all over the place right now. Again, the high and lows. Yeah, Christy, you're clearing stuff out. It's hard to release these old beliefs because they're part of our identity, and that's where that ego death is. It's like the ego is like, don't do this to me, please. This is painful. And that's why we have to have compassion. It's like visualizing our ego as some broken version of ourselves and like holding it and comforting it as it dies. Like, I love you. Thank you for trying to protect me. You can move on now, though. You can let go. It's okay. I see now. Very painful. The tears are both pain and release. Yeah. Yep. It is. But it's so necessary. We have to let it go. Otherwise, like, we just stay on that hamster wheel, right? Stay in that energy. It doesn't serve us. We have to release all of that so that we can have that forward motion. This is why people, they're like, why do I keep doing the same things over and over again? It's like the same energies in your body. It hasn't gone out. Okay. Awesome. Thank you for the 3 people out of the ones that are on here for sharing. I'm going to get you other ones at some point. One day, I'm going to get y'all to start talking, opening up. Why do you have to hold it together, Christy? This is, again, that's that ego. Ego. I feel that I have to hold it together right now. Why? Why? So you ask ourselves, why? Why do I feel this way? Why can't I just allow myself to feel this? It's because as you feel it, you're going to release that energy out of your body. That's why crying is so cathartic. It's so healing. It's a way to release energy out of the body. So orgasms can be very healing and cathartic. It's a big energy release. Moving the energy through. Exercise, crying, all of these different things. Let yourself feel it. Move through it. Release it. Ego doesn't want you to. That's why it's saying hold it together. Be strong. Don't cry. It's okay, Christy. You don't have to hold it together all the time, though. Let yourself process. Let it go. And then when you're with people, that's when you're able to hold more power, hold more strength in yourself because you made space for it. So it's really important for us to process our emotions. This is why men struggle so much, is because they don't feel that it's okay to process their emotions. So they stifle them, they stuff them all down. There's no room for growth. It's suffocating. And then the soul gets gets angsty, and then they feel that as anger, and then they become combative or aggressive or angry. We don't want to do that to ourselves. Allow yourself to nurture yourself. Allow the divine to nurture yourself. You. Okay, I'm gonna hop off here. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully people will be able to catch the replay. Please reach out if you have any questions. I do have the Art of Ceremony Masterclass happening mid-July, so make sure to get registered for that. These little sessions here, when we go through them, you can feel how powerful they are. Through the Art of Ceremony, I'm going to teach you how to create very powerful and very transformative ceremonies, rituals, that allow you to call in divine beings. For those that are really into like spell work, like this is the upgrade. So for spell work works with the earth energy, right? It's very much of this realm. And so when we incorporate divine ceremony with that aspect, it's kind of like we're getting the new upgrade for how to do this. So to increase the intentions, to pull in manifestations for healing, for all kinds of stuff. It's going to be amazing. So The collective members, you have free access to that, but you still have to register. Your discount code is inside the members portal. Everyone else, it's $55, or you can just become a member and then get into all of them for as it's included in the membership. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I will see you guys Thursday for live card pulls. Enjoy your healing. Have compassion for yourself. And I will see you on Thursday. Namaste.